means basically that all civil rights have been suspended. And in fact, they have passed laws that give them the ability to arrest, torture, and even kill people, execute people, for, quote, insulting the state or spreading false information. Speaking of fascists, Donald Trump yesterday said something very troubling to the president of Egypt. The president of Egypt is Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. And this is what Trump said. He said, your country is doing very well. It has good leadership. It's about leadership. And it's really nice when you say, how's your crime situation? They don't even know what you're talking about. What do you mean crime? We don't have crime. Because if he has crime, he puts it out very quickly. Some people think that's not nice, but I think it's great. This is Trump speaking. Because people don't want to be mugged and smashed. They don't want to be stupid people. They want to have a place that's doing very well. We're very proud of you. Now, what's he referring to? What's Trump talking about? Well, in 2011, the Arab Spring happened. Remember that? The Tunisian falafel seller, lit himself on fire, and then, this protest spread across the Middle East, the Arab Spring. And in July of 2012, Egypt held its first true democratic election in its history. And the defense minister, Mohamed Morsi, was the guy who was elected president. And in July of the next year, el-Sisi, the guy who's currently the president, was the defense minister. He was the equivalent of, Whiskey Pete, Hegseth. And he launched a military coup against President Morsi and toppled the government. Now, the people were not happy about this. And so hundreds of thousands of Egyptians turned out in the streets. And the new president, el-Sisi, who had made himself president after running this military coup, he ordered the military and the police into the streets, and they murdered over 800 people that day. They were just shooting people in the streets all over Egypt. The two big protests, one was in the central square in Cairo, and the other was in, I've been there. Giza, in the El Nada Square. And on August 14th, 2013, el-Sisi's military and the police violently dispersed the two squares using bulldozers, snipers, and Apache helicopters. Armed forces murdered over 800 people on that day. So there's now a new Egyptian government, and there was never any accountability for those deaths. El-Sisi built this regime on oppression, normalizing state terror. In 2014, he was elected in a sham. 97% of the people voted for him, right? Yeah, right. So in 2023, he changed the constitution of Egypt to eliminate term limits. So he's now president for life. And that model is what Donald Trump is praising. What he publicly praised to the world yesterday. He said, you guys are doing it right. You guys are doing what I want to do. El-Sisi has also seized control of television and radio and newspapers in Egypt. They all sing his praises all the time. It's like everything is like Fox News. He also is he's using Carl Schmitt. I talked about Carl Schmitt a couple days ago. He's the Nazi philosopher who said that if you want to seize control of a country, declare an emergency. And that's what el-Sisi is doing. Egypt has been in a state of emergency all this time, which means basically that all civil rights have been suspended. And in fact, they have passed laws that give them the ability to arrest, torture, and even kill people, execute people, for, quote, insulting the state or spreading false information. Again, this is what Donald Trump was praising yesterday. And this language in the Egyptian laws that authorizes the state to imprison you for insulting the state is almost identical in many regards to Donald Trump's designating Antifa as a terrorist organization and his NSPM 7 Countering Domestic Terrorism and Organized Political Violence decrees. And then he goes on, while he was in Egypt, he then turns to the Turkey's dictator, Erdogan, who, has also, he had a military coup attempted against him, and in response, he became the dictator. And Trump says, I like the tough people better than the soft, easy ones. I don't know what now that is. It's a personality problem, I suspect. But this gentleman from a place called Turkey has one of the most powerful armies actually in the world. It's much more powerful than he even lets known. Yeah. And in Turkey, if you speak out against the government, if you speak out against Mr. Erdogan, you get disappeared. You go to prison. You get tortured. You could be killed. These guys are Trump's role models. He's praising them to the world, and he's telling us what he would like America to be like. Is that the America you want? Why aren't more American politicians, particularly Democrats, but even Republicans of conscience, questioning this?